Hafide, welcome to another episode of Real Talk, brought to you by the fine folks over at Tango Theaters. I'm your host, Ken Nicholas. I'm joined with my co-host today, the one and only, the master of zero movies, Jason Salas.
The master, apparently, of the awkward jump in the shot today, as our live stream proved.
Oh, yes.
That's Charter Day.
Definitely. You know, today's episode, this is just pretty interesting. I don't think we've done this classification
We
before.
have not.
But before we get into today's episode, I want to talk about Greta, which I watched over the weekend with Chloe Grace Moretz. Thriller. It's a pretty good movie. I think you should check that film out. You can watch that at Tango Theaters.
Was it scary?
It's disturbing, but I wouldn't say it's scary. There aren't really a lot of jump scares or anything like that. But basically, the story is Chloe Grace Moretz befriends this older lady, and the older lady is a kind and friendly older lady who's like a mother figure to Chloe Grace Moretz, only to find out she's a little more than that. She's actually pretty crazy.
Okay, now can I just get your opinion on Chloe Grace Moretz herself? Because we both liked her in Kick-Ass.
Sure.
I liked her more than you did in the 2013 remake of Carrie, but that was admittedly a small sample size. But now that she's got a pretty decently sized filmography under her belt, like her IMDb profile is pretty adequate. And what would you say about her as an actress now?
I still think she hasn't found like her like direction as an actress, like the role that like a career defining role. Like, I mean, she did Kick-Ass and she did Let Me In, and I think those are her two strongest roles. And this definitely wasn't a strong role. This was one where they try to bill her as the top talent in the movie, and I think she kind of fell a little flat. Although I thought the movie was very interesting, very good. I think maybe she's just too young. She's like in this weird kind of an adult now, but still looks like a kid, and it's hard to sell that she's like a young woman, even though she is a young woman.
A lot of people bashed on Carrie, the remake, and I thought it was great. I mean, the original from the 70s is immaculate, but
so
the new Carrie was not bad.
You know, on that note, there are two other movies coming out soon, and you can catch them at Tango Theaters. This week, you can watch Captive State, which comes out this weekend. It's about a future Earth that is populated by aliens or some kind of extraterrestrial beings and governed by these beings, and it's how the humans kind of fight back against these alien force, I guess.
Which is a plot that's only been told 1,000 times.
Yeah, which will be interesting, and that comes out this weekend. And next weekend, which I'm really looking forward to, is Jordan Peele's new movie, which is called Us.
Yes.
And that one looks freaky, looks pretty scary, and based on the reviews from South by Southwest, it looks like it's actually a really, really good movie, a good follow-up to Get Out.
Get Out. And
yeah. So
even scarier, you were saying, like the early feedback seems to be like legitimately scary.
Yeah, like you know how Get Out is more of a social commentary on like the state of America. This one has a little bit of that, but it's more of a traditional scary film. Like it's horror, and it's got the same flawed elements of normal horror movies. And, you know, it's less preachy than Get Out. Right?
Which kind of lets us dovetail somewhat comfortably into today's topic, because
Lupita Nyong'o is the main star, and she supposedly stole the show with this film, and she has a storied resume as an actress as well, right? 12 Years a Slave, you know,
Black Panther.
She is what we would call a strong female lead, right?
Absolutely.
So today's episode is all about our favorite movies with strong female leads, right? So,
and is this a competition between the two of us? Because he was talking some major league smack going into this. He's saying like he has an unbeatable list.
You know, Jason,
and mine is pretty impeccable.
I did not say my list was unbeatable. I said I had a good list. I got a good list of movies. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Jason posted his list, and I mean, it's up for debate.
I put it on Facebook because I was proud of my list.
Let's talk about what do you got on your list?
Okay, and are we going head to head?
We'll go. You do one, I'll do one.
Okay.
How many do I got? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.
Okay, I had 13 total. I whittled it down to. Okay, let's say 9.
Let's go 9.
I can do 9. Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to say, and everybody's going to laugh at me for this, but from the Great Muppet Caper in the mid '80s, Miss Piggy, literally the embodiment of what was considered a strong female character, someone, and even though she's a piece of felt, and it's a guy who plays her, who voices her, obviously Frank Oz, very, very talented. But she was not just the heroine and not just the female lead within that movie, but she was the star of the movie. She was glamorous. She was brave. She was intrepid. She rescued her love. She fell in love with a frog, which is interspecies thing, which may or may not be weird.
Wow.
Miss Piggy was seen as a beacon of strong feminine qualities for a long time. She was on the cover of Us.
I'll give you. I don't think.
And the Great Muppet Caper.
I actually don't think it's a bad choice. I think that's a pretty accurate choice. It wouldn't. I mean, I can see why you made that choice, but
because I've got the maturity of a 12-year-old.
I feel like the Muppet movies are more of an ensemble type of thing than.
Okay.
No, but it's definitely. I like it. I would give that a 3 out of 5 in terms of how strong the female lead is.
Well, of the 3 main movies, of the Muppet movie, the Great Muppet Caper, and the Muppets Take Manhattan, the second one, which is the Great Muppet Caper, that really exhibited Piggy's strength.
Sure, I mean,
and she also knows.
Asha's just chuckling in the back.
She also knows. Okay, Miss Disembodied Voice. By the way, it is a damn shame that you are not with us right now because you are wearing a awesome Guns N' Roses shirt.
Whatever.
That is an old school. Were you even alive when Appetite for Destruction came out?
Probably not.
The voice you hear in the background is none other than our very own Asha Robles, who we decided not to put on camera today. But
I think she recused herself.
She's operating the camera.
What do you think of having
I'm the operator today.
Miss Piggy as a strong female lead?
Yeah, this is what we'll do. Well, we go
I
one by one.
that
She's
stuff.
the judge. You just judge.
Okay.
You're the judge, Asha. Okay, so.
Oh, man.
Okay, so my first thing is Miss Piggy and Great
All
Muppet
right,
Caper.
so my first thing.
Serve and volunteer.
And I'm known to come out of the box guns blazing, so I'm just going to throw it right out. Ellen Ridley in Alien and Aliens, right? Sigourney Weaver playing the epitome of a strong female lead. And it's,
although her name is Ripley, but that.
Ripley. Why did I say Ridley?
I don't know.
Anyway, Ellen Ripley, directed by Ridley Scott, right? The epitome of a strong female lead. And to be fair, that it's easier to pick strong female leads in action movies, I think, because obviously there's a lot of.
This is the first film of this. Alien or Aliens?
Aliens with Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah, she's badass.
Game over, man. Game over.
Who is a better female lead, Miss Piggy or Ellen Ripley?
I feel like that's not even a competition.
I think you won round 1. I would.
I think so too. Someone jot that down. 1-0.
Okay, 1-0.
You have the paper.
All right, so I'm going next. Okay, this one is a kind of fringe pick for me. This is one of
maybe when Asha edits this, we'll put up some graphics and ding. 1-0.
I don't know. Maybe I just have weird taste, but I always thought Gina Davis was just so like there's something about her. Like she has some kind of like she's just charismatic.
It's got to be the right Gina Davis movie though.
And I think I have the right Gina Davis movie right now. The Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel L. Jackson and Gina Davis, where she's almost killed and then she remembers. She's like a housewife, right? But her family is murdered and then she remembers that she's a like agent.
Are you just giving me round 2? Because you were doing so well up until you picked the movie.
She bleached her hair and was
blonde.
And she had the man and she was saving Samuel L. Jackson all the time.
I thought you were going to say A League of Their Own.
I think it was
because she was great in A League of Their Own.
Good too, but that's more of an ensemble cast, which is why I didn't pick A League of Their Own, even though there were many strong female leads in that movie.
Madonna, all the way May. Okay, so that's your round 2. Okay, mine is a woman who maybe not a household name, but Heather Langenkamp. And if you're down with scary movies, then you know who this is. She played Nancy from the first A Nightmare on Elm Street movie. She was the one who, when she got scared, her hair turned. She had this white streak in her hair. She was the only one who survived. She was Johnny Depp's girlfriend when Johnny Depp got very disgustingly pulled into the bed and he turned into a blood fountain. Nancy embodied the strength, because remember, she was the one who was drinking tons of pots of coffee, not just cups, pots of coffee to stay awake so Freddy wouldn't get her. She was taping her eyelids open to her forehead so she wouldn't fall asleep, trying to tell all the adults, something's wrong, and they're like, no, don't worry about it. She read all of these books. She went to the library, and she was reading on how to make booby traps and how to set up everything. She was basically what Macaulay Culkin became in Home Alone before Macaulay Culkin. And her character gave rise to what's known as the final girl theory, where you have a female lead within a scary movie that embodies the strength and the resolve and the intelligence and the character to face the ultimate evil and defeat it.
Okay.
And she set that whole thing off. So that's mine. So Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right. So Asha, Gina Davis.
Give me my point already.
And The Long Kiss Goodnight, or the random girl from.
I feel like I'm
going
to be biased because I've never watched the movie that you're talking about, Ken.
Oh, 1-1. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? I can't. I actually don't.
We're gonna do
feel bad.
She's a good
those
lead.
We're gonna
She's
do
a good
bad picks.
Darius Miles, LA Clippers.
All right, Jason.
Okay, so we're doing winner goes first. Okay. We're doing snake draft. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing snake draft, I guess.
Okay. Set It Off, right? One of the great movies, and that kind of has an ensemble cast because you've got Jada Pinkett Smith, you've got Lila Roshan, but Queen Latifah, and
yeah.
Queen Latifah's been in a lot of good movies, and this really showed Queen Latifah's acting chops. She was the leader of a gang. It was a heist movie. They were criminals. Let's not beat around the bush. And you can be a strong woman and still do bad things.
But they were shunned women.
Yes,
they weren't. I mean, they were strong because of their personal life.
And she was gay in that movie, right? She played a lesbian.
I don't remember.
I believe she had a girlfriend, and she had those big cornrows, and she was mean, man. She had that big, like the. I've heard people refer to it as like the prison get up, like the long coat. And
she looks crazy in this movie.
Yeah, Asha's looking at it right now. Latifah was excellent in this movie, and she's been in some good movies. She's a wonderful actress.
Dang, who does she remind me of in this movie? She looks like.
And she was
it, Ice Cube?
and also the movie the movie has a tragic ending because Wait, do they all die or everybody but Jada?
No, I think they all die, right? Don't they all? I don't know.
Yeah, Latifah dies very badly.
I don't
Never watched it.
Yeah, she gets shot.
Yeah. No, Asha, you would really like this movie.
I like that pick, Jason. I think Set It Off is an amazing movie, and it's got a good cast of 4 strong female leads.
So you're telling me I got a point?
No,
it's
up for you might, because it is good, and I would put that on my list as well. It's just that there are 4 strong female leads, and it's hard for me to
just pick one.
Yeah, pick one. Because even Jada Pinkett Smith.
Was it Vivica A. Fox in that too?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that was Vivica. Yeah.
And then that one girl who's in a lot of movies that no one knows her name. But for me, I'll go with a traditional Swedish movie that was translated to American cinema in the past 5 years. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh.
The English one features Rooney Mara.
Sorry, Jason.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Story, and here's the thing.
Rooney Mara.
This story is not... The center character is not Rooney Mara. The central character is Michael Blomkvist, right? Who is the CEO of this big tabloid paper. But he gets involved with this girl, Rooney Mara, who is like a hacker, like a antisocial hacker, who has there's a guy who rapes her in the film, and then she gets back at that, and that's not even the main plot.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like a secondary subplot of what she deals with in her normal life, which is secondary to the bigger murder mystery that's going on, right? And which is a great movie, and that series is actually great. It's spun. It was the catalyst for the rest of the series, which they haven't translated into American movies yet. But
that's a good pick.
Yeah, so I mean that's
Ooh.
Because she a guy rapes her in the movie, right? It's this pretty graphic movie, and then she gets back at him, abducts him, and then penalizes him and punishes him in the worst way possible.
And that's one thing that's interesting when we were talking about, putting together these lists of strong women, because you can still be a strong female in a movie and still be victimized. That doesn't necessarily mean you're the heroine or that you're a virtuous person, because like we saw with Latifah, she was a criminal. But
and I think that's what makes those types of movies stand out a little bit more, because it doesn't have to be like that all the women are victimized. Like someone doesn't have to go through domestic abuse, or someone doesn't have to be raped, or they don't have to be at one end of the spectrum, but they have to go. I think that they have to go through some kind of conflict. There has to be a conflict that exists at some extent that they have to overcome as a person, as a female, right? And I think that's what shows that they are strong female leads, right?
Maybe like as an example, a very, very good movie was Jodie Foster's character in The Accused, where she was, sexually assaulted multiple times by, what was it, was it a gang?
I forgot.
And it was an incredibly difficult scene to watch even today and everything. But everybody says like she was amazing in that role, and it's because her character has so much resolve, and she had the strength to come back and to fight back.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So it's back to me, right?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, Asha, what are you going for? Are you going to go with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or Set It Off, right? Set It Off. Those are two. Actually, those are pretty.
Latifah is a queen, mind you.
Okay, Jason. For that, I'm giving it to Ken.
I'm bringing to light the aristocracy.
Guys, and also if you're watching at home, make sure you start tallying your own list. Maybe we will share some of those comments or lists on our next episode of the podcast. But going to my next one, I think I have won this round right off the bat.
Wow.
Ken 2, Jason 1.
Yep.
Uma Thurman in Kill Bill as the bride.
Okay, that's a good one.
Gets shot in the head, survives the coma.
Now I'm rearranging my list to see how I'm going to come back for you. This is good.
I'm not even rearrange your list if you have to. Like if you just pick bangers, winners, it doesn't matter what order the list is. I'm just reading top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Kill Bill. Do I really have to explain what happens in Kill Bill, guys? The Quentin Tarantino two-part movie, right, featuring Uma Thurman as the bride, who was a former assassin working for, I forgot what they were called, right? And she is...
former Mrs. Ethan Hawke.
Her co-workers try to kill her, and she's in a coma for, God knows how long. And when she wakes up from the coma, she tries to exact vengeance on all of her former co-workers, as well as her husband/lover or whatever, Bill, right, played by David Carradine, right? So, and that was a glorious. That's probably Quentin Tarantino's
you could even maybe say
top three films.
That wasn't even Uma's strongest character, because I would say you can make the case for another Quentin Tarantino film. Pulp Fiction. She was incredibly strong in that role.
No, I think Kill Bill is by far stronger.
You're probably okay.
But yeah, I mean that's my pick. Kill Bill, a definite gem of American cinema that you should see. It has a lot of strong female roles in that film.
That's a very good pick.
Fox, Lucy Liu, Daryl Hannah.
That's a really good pick. And now I'm trying to think strategically. Should I actually take my? Should I match?
You should
an
put
ace
your
with
worst.
an ace?
There you go. There.
Should I match an ace with an ace, or should I just
Well, let me just tell you right now, Jace. You're gonna have to match an ace with whatever you have for the next 6 rounds, because these are all aces on my side.
Okay.
So
bring it. All right. Okay. So mine is gonna sound kind of goofy to you, maybe the same way that Miss Piggy did, but hear me out. I'm gonna match. All right. I see your Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, and I'll raise you Emma Stone in Easy A. And this is why. Before you eye roll, if you haven't eye rolled already, I'm speaking to everybody. All right. Emma Stone. That was an incredible performance, a relative unknown at that point, right? She had so many soliloquies when she would look directly into camera. She was talking like to her webcam. She was doing these very long monologue passages. She was talking about how hard it is to be in school, how she's being judged. This movie, if you didn't know, it's a retelling of The Scarlet Letter. Being picked on for being promiscuous. She comes up with this scam. She's got to deal with her family, who are kind of hippy-dippy, and they say, hey, just be yourself and everything.
And she's not actually promiscuous. She just does it so that these socially awkward kids can get more exposure.
Yeah. So she's
popularity.
altruistic then.
Sure.
She's a person of the people. She's a future politician maybe. But she went through all of that, and in high school, you go through all of this judgment and through all of these cliques, and everyone's afraid to be exactly who they are, and she stood up for herself, and she had a lot of redeeming qualities, and I've always marveled at her performance because I think she absolutely crushed it. And I'm putting that head to head against Uma Thurman with a big ass katana and a sword,
who killed like 30 people in that movie. Emma Stone killed like 0 girls in that movie.
You didn't have. She bore the shame of being labeled as, pardon the expression, as a slut. Which when you're in high school is a damning.
Yeah, but
at least it was when I was in school. I don't know about these days, but
she wasn't though.
Yeah, which is the irony. I mean, she was labeled as a harlot, as a trollop.
Jason, I don't know.
I'm using big words right now.
Let's get a female's perspective.
Oh my God,
Asha, what do you think?
That's your debate.
That's your initial read.
Easy A.
The first words out of your mouth are OMG.
Emma Stone in Easy A or Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. The stronger female.
I feel like they're just such different movies to compare each other against. Like
they are.
I don't know. I don't.
See. Beyond a reasonable doubt, I got inside your head.
No, I obviously pick Ken's. But
okay, we'll just call that 3-1 and then
gee, well that
those of you at home,
I'm sorry,
those
but
of you
I just
at
don't
home,
see it with Emma
Stone,
Stone, right?
Easy A or Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, please. Let us know. We're gonna have an Instagram poll when this.
I might as well pick freaking Hilary Duff in what is that Cinderella Story. That's like what I can compare your Easy A to.
Seriously, it's the craziest decision.
And now we're comparing.
It's just like
now we're comparing Uma Thurman against Lizzie McGuire.
You know what?
No, I was comparing Hilary Duff to Emma Stone.
Okay. What are we at now? 3-1.
3-1.
Oh my
right?
God. Okay.
3-1. 1, 2, 3.
Tom Brady came back against the Falcons.
All right. So just so this doesn't
anything
go out
is
of
possible.
Hand, I got a couple of freebies here, a couple of mulligans for you.
You just said they were all bangers.
They are bangers, so I'm hoping that you brought something with substance to this discussion because, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be this free.
Let the record show that I drew first blood.
Sharni Vincent.
Okay.
She's from Step Up, 3D, pretty girl. She's also from this movie called You're Next, where a girl, Sharni Vincent, and her fiance visit the fiance's family at this log cabin in the woods. And one by one, people at this family reunion get killed by a bunch of people in masks. But the greatest
in animal masks.
It was crazy. And the greatest thing about this film is that Sharni Vincent plays a survivalist, like who grew up in the outback of Australia. Yep. So she knows how to defend herself and make like weird traps around the house, and she single-handedly combats these 5 or 6 assailants, and it is I thought it was a horror movie.
Oh, it's definitely a horror movie, and it's a great horror movie.
It's so hard to define because, unlike other horror movies, the lead isn't spending the entire film running away from the main guy. Like she is actively pursuing the assailants.
Yeah, she was stalking her stalkers,
and that was an amazing movie with good twist at the end too.
And that's what Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, I was saying, she is the genesis of that. But yeah, I mean,
yes,
she knew how to work a crossbow. She set bear traps.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was an amazing movie.
And the most tragic thing about that movie is the end when the cops finally go there and everybody's like dead. They think she did it.
Did they think she did it?
Yeah, they walk in. They're like, "What did you do?" And she's like, Okay.
That's my pick.
Okay, that's a good one.
You're Next, guys. That's the name of the film. Be sure to check that out.
I could go head to head with you on this.
Sure. It's one of my weaker picks.
But I'm gonna take a movie from 1991. Julia Roberts. I
give it to you.
I'm coming with the flamethrower on this one. Julia Roberts in Flatliners, right?
Oh,
if you haven't seen the original What?
Flatliners?
Yes. And this is why.
You could have gone with Pretty Woman and you went with Flatliners. Go ahead.
So I'm taking a medical student over a hooker. Sue me, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Julia Roberts in Flatliners is the only female in a cast also featuring Kevin Bacon, Kiefer Sutherland, and Oliver Platt. They're all medical students. They're all trying to scientifically figure out how death works, right? If you can actually come back from the dead. So they have these experiments. And if you watch the remake, was that Ellen Page or
Ellen Page? Is one of the girls in it. Yeah.
And that was not a good movie. The remake.
No, it wasn't.
Flatliners 1990 is amazing.
You know what?
But she's the only female in that. She's got to deal with like a bunch of crap just because the guys are discriminating against her because she is a female, and they're simultaneously trying to protect her. She has the most tragic of all the stories when your sins come back to haunt you, which is what happens when you cheat death, which is her father took his own life, a war veteran who can never cope, and he had PTSD, and he shot himself in his car in the head, and she watched, and she's had to deal with that the rest of her life. It's an amazing performance because she confronts her sins, she makes up for it, and then she finally realizes that there are some things just in science and in this world that you can't overcome. And everybody else in the movie. Oh, and what's his name? Is it Billy Baldwin or Stephen Baldwin?
Stephen Baldwin.
The dude who slept with like everything.
Oh, William Baldwin.
William Baldwin. Videotaped these trysts he had with like all of these women. Kiefer Sutherland picked on this little boy, and the boy fell out of the tree. The boy died. Kevin Bacon, they picked on this little African American girl and called her name. So everybody had to atone for their sins. She was the one who figured that out, and she's like, you just can't do some stuff. And the strength of her character and just how tormented she was throughout the whole movie is remarkable. And again, she was the only woman in that cast. You cannot say that's one of her strongest roles.
You cannot say that it was one of her strongest roles?
It wasn't one of her strongest roles. Whoops.
You could put one more.
So just again, if you're just joining us to recap, Ken was basically ready to surrender his point to me for what are we on round 5 now? And then
you guys are gonna have to junk and po for this one. Sorry.
You could pick Aaron Brockovich or like
that would be a
Pretty
good one.
Woman or any of the other like 30 Julia Roberts roles that she did.
I guess if you're a hooker with a heart of gold, that's strength.
Oh my gosh, man.
Flatliners was great. But, she was great in that.
Flatliners is actually a pretty awesome movie, but I really think the reason why it's so popular is because the cast was just so popular at the time. Those 4 or 5 actors, or actors and actresses they had top billing, and
that's one of the most original plots too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's put ourselves down and then bring ourselves back to see if we can.
It's dope. I just think I think that falls just way flat when you are. I mean, of all of
Flatliners,
of all of Julia Roberts' possible roles, you picked Flatliners of all of them. Of all the strong female lead roles that she's played, that was your pick, Asha.
I'm not picking. You guys junk and po.
We're not junk and poing.
We'll flip a coin because.
Okay, based on what you've heard,
have you watched either of these movies? You probably didn't watch Flatliners, but have you watched Your Next?
I watched the new Flatliners. I never watched the old one.
You've seen Your Next. We talked about that.
I saw Your Next.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm screwed just because of
that.
By default.
But I know that Julia Roberts is an amazing actress and a lot of
let's
stuff.
Give Jason a point. Let's give Jason a point just to keep it competitive here. Let's just.
I would have rather not got the point instead of getting your pity points.
All right. Okay, Jason.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Sloppy Second Solace here with their movie review.
What's your next movie? I mean, Julia Roberts is a great actress. So, I mean, I'm just going to include Flatliners into her other bodies of work that are also very good and say, okay, that's better than what Sharni Vincent has done in Your Next.
Okay. So. I have got an insurmountable pick for this next round. He cannot come back for this.
Okay.
It also features Julia Roberts. It is Steel Magnolias. And it's not just Julia Roberts. It's also Sally Field. It's also Daryl Hannah.
Okay.
It's also Shirley MacLaine. And it's also Olympia Dukakis. Each one of them in that movies is... And it's also Dolly Parton. Damn, almost forgot that. Forgot Dolly. Sorry, Dolly. And they are amazing. Each one of them has unbelievable character.
Is Steel Magnolias not an ensemble cast, though?
That's why it's the whole... I'm saying the whole cast.
You know what? I think it's a great movie. I'm not gonna argue it, but I'll give you my pick just because. Miss Sloane, featuring Jessica Chastain, where she plays a lobbyist, and
clearly I win this round.
She's under the microscope of the judicial system of the United States, and it looks pretty bleak for her for the entire movie. And then stuff happens, and then you're like, "Wow,
really?"
She is. I'm trying not to spoil the movie for you because it's really, really.
No, I'm
good.
saying really. Of all, you could have picked Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and you picked
Miss Sloane is a great movie. Undoubtedly, you guys should watch that if you get the chance. It is really, really good. So Jessica Chastain, that's her best role.
I'm the comeback kid now.
Better than Zero Dark 30, whatever. This is it's a dope movie, but I will concede that
I would have even picked Brandy Chastain for the 1999 Women's Cup.
I would not.
Women's World Cup.
I would give Steel Magnolias the nod. I'm going to give you that one.
Of course.
So what is it, 3-3 now?
Sure. It's 3-3.
Hell yeah.
Or wait, you have 4.
No, 3-3.
No, it's got to be 3-3.
Okay.
Because I got 3 more. So, all right.
They're coming back.
Gloves are coming off, guys. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is it your turn or my turn?
My turn.
Oh, we're doing snake draft.
Clarice Starling. Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Ooh.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Lecter.
FBI agent, right? Is it? She's FBI? Yep. FBI agent who needs to communicate with Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins, who's a known serial killer? Is he a
serial killer and cannibal?
Yeah, serial killer, cannibal / professor. And
world-renowned psychologist.
Yeah, and together, I guess you quote unquote together, they're able to locate another serial killer, right?
Buffalo Bill.
Well, yeah, loosely based on. Or no, he is Buffalo Bill. Man, who plays Buffalo Bill?
Ted Levine.
Wow. Anyway, that's my pick.
Ted Levine with the infamous tuck scene.
Yeah, that's my favorite scene in the movie. That is funny.
It puts the lotion on his skin or else it gets the hose again. Put the lotion in the damn basket.
But you know, like you think about all the
that's a really, really good one.
All the Hannibal Lecter movies after that, which are or even before that, right? With Manhunter, right? With,
yeah.
William Peterson,
who's been in everything. Who was in Young Guns too.
None of them like match or are as good as Silence of the Lambs.
For sure.
For sure, Silence of the Lambs is the best of that series of films.
The only horror movie.
I want to watch it from the beginning now.
The only horror movie to ever win Best Picture. The second movie to ever win the top 5 to get Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Screenplay, and Best Director.
Did it get all those awards?
Yep, it swept and the only other movie that did it before that was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Wow. So you think about that, guys. Think about that when you listen to whatever Jason's option is here.
This is another movie that we referenced already when we were talking about at the top, Chloe Grace Moretz. The original Carrie, Sissy Spacek. And I thought that Sissy's performance was incredible. And her strength is interesting because she's someone who is flawed. She has a troubled home life because, her mother knows that she's got this telekinesis power. She's got, these wild superhuman abilities. She's picked on. She is tormented. She is set up. The hunky guy at school asks her to the prom, and she finally feels like she fits in. And then when they get her, they humiliate her because she had a bloody tampon in the shower, and then they pour pig's blood on her. They humiliate her, and then stuff goes crazy.
But then at that point, she's never had her period, right?
That was her first menstrual cycle.
Menstrual cycle. So
and Sissy Spacek plays it so well because she's just doing the and she takes like the white dude with like the really big fro, and she like puts him between two cars and crushes him. I mean, she kills like 30 people at least, and you can say, I mean, how is that strong? But she found the will within herself to fight back and to get vengeance. I mean, she committed mass murder after that, and the ending of the movie is so sad because you could just say, okay, she got her revenge. She's justified. She's redeemed. But at the end of the movie, she's still the victim. But she's still got an incredibly strong character, and Sissy Spacek was amazing in Carrie, the original Carrie.
Sure, I mean, yeah, she was good. The original Carrie.
And I'm really trying hard to put this head to head against Jodie Foster.
I think they're both good.
They're okay. I think one is clearly better than the other.
Well, obviously, you guys are gonna think your choice is better than the other person's choice.
Chase, do you think Carrie is a better choice than Silence of the Lambs? That Sissy Spacek's role was better than what's her name?
Do we have like a white piece of paper where I can wave like the surrender flag? Yeah, that's.
It goes to Ken.
4-3. Okay. How many more rounds?
We got two more rounds.
Okay, good, because I've got two more.
Okay.
Okay, my turn. Okay. And I'm going to save the best for last.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to know what your best one is.
I came right out of the gate with Miss Piggy, man, and apparently it all went downhill from there. Okay. This is a movie from, I believe, 1987. Molly Ringwald, the teen idol at one point. This is not the movie that most people would think when you're thinking of Molly Ringwald movies, because you're thinking Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles. The movie Four Keeps. All right. She was in high school, and she and her boyfriend...
Four Keeps?
Four Keeps.
I've never heard of this
She and her boyfriend
God,
had sex and got pregnant. They're both seniors in high school. She had to drop out, or she had to start going to night school, and she had to wait tables to make her... so she could provide for her baby. She had postpartum, and the movie technically is a comedy, but she had postpartum depression, and her boyfriend, her high school boyfriend,
the one who she has the baby with.
Yeah, Stanley Babrouche. He's got this really long, Greek name. He is on this track. He's supposed to go to Caltech. He's supposed to be this amazing architect.
Who's the boyfriend?
Stan Babrouche.
Yeah. What's the actor's name?
Randall Batinkoff.
Okay.
Something.
Can you tap on his thing? What else has he been in? Because I know I've seen him somewhere. Oh wait, he
looks super familiar.
Yeah.
He's been in some recent stuff.
He was in I think he was in The Last Starfighter. He was that guy.
He was in Kick-Ass.
Oh, really?
God, he's old and kick. But anyway, so Molly Ringwald in this, it's again, it's a comedy, but it's got a couple scenes that are incredibly emotional, and it just showed how hard it is to be a high school mother, and then for a while there a single mother, because their families get along so well, but they just can't. They just can't get along. But they've got this grandbaby between them, and Molly's performance is amazing.
I haven't seen this movie.
That's mine.
So I can't really.
She's very good in it.
All right. Well, my pick. I don't know, because this movie had a lot of mixed reviews, but I always thought it was a pretty awesome movie, especially for, the period of time where it came out and the type of star that Demi Moore was at the time. And I'm going to go with G.I. Jane.
Ooh.
Where Demi Moore plays military or topical and analyst Jordan O'Neill. Right? And then basically, this is this is before, they want to introduce women in the military.
Force the commander to actually address. He's like, y'all come from different sectors of the special ops community. Army Delta, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Navy Intelligence, just for her. But
so they want to, lawmakers want to put female, or see if females are fit enough to stand the training of naval special forces, right?
And you know what politician set that up, right?
Who?
That was Blythe Danner.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, anyway, so they picked.
Oh, wait, was that Blythe Danner, or was that?
They picked Demi Moore because she's very pretty, and she's the most feminine one of all.
Because she still looks pretty.
No,
when
and
she's bald.
she's the most feminine looking of all the candidates, so she's most likely to fail.
I'm sorry, that's not Blythe Danner. That's Anne Bancroft.
Bancroft, yeah,
aka Mrs. Mel Brooks.
But they picked Demi Moore because she's the most feminine and most likely to fail because she's perceived as the weakest. But it turns out she's a pretty strong character and can do a hell of a lot of pull-ups. Right?
And she looks fine with a shaved head.
She looks great.
And she was
amazing. Demi Moore is beautiful.
And if you look at those, okay, first of all, you won this round. I'm not even gonna.
And Viggo Mortensen was in the round as the the staff sergeant, or what do you call it?
Command Master Chief.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great movie.
Command Master, who's got that weird Viggo Mortensen
and Ridley
name.
Scott directed it.
Yeah,
right. That was a Ridley Scott movie. Shoot, that's like my second favorite director, I think. Right, after Martin Scorsese, third favorite director.
Viggo Mortensen is a SEAL team commander, and quotes Thoreau. Wait, was it Thoreau or was it Walt Whitman?
It's Thoreau.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my pick. Wait, we're waiting for Jason's monologue real quick. Sorry.
I have never seen anything feel sorry for itself. A bird will fall dead from a bough without having feel sorry for it. Oh, wait. Okay. What is the key line in that movie? It's a 3-word line.
I don't know.
When Demi Moore finally earns Viggo Mortensen's respect after he beats the crap out of her. He assaults. I mean, they're in a training situation. He and this woman are fighting, fist fighting.
I don't remember.
She breaks his nose and then she finally like stands up. Her face is all bloodied. She's got probably a tooth missing, and she's like, "Master Chief," and he doesn't even look at her. He's like, "Lieutenant O'Neill, seek employment elsewhere." And she says, "Suck my stick." And that's the TV edited version, but she doesn't say. And everybody, all the other SEALs, and they're like, "Yeah," remember that?
Yeah.
And at that point, that's what turns him, because he's like, she's tough as nails. But he even admits in that thing, he goes, "The problem's not us."
Yeah. That movie was before its time. I can't believe that she got a Razzie for that. She got one of those.
What?
Yeah, she got a Razzie for Worst Actress because of that movie. Can you believe that? It's so funny to see how like a movie like that, when it was current and contemporary, could be like shunned upon in such a way. But now in the future, now we have, our armed forces are, more accepting of things. Like, I would think that is really strong, pivotal role.
There were 2 women recently that graduated from Ranger School.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know what was most amazing about that is, if you look at like
before its time,
what would be considered like the training montage when Demi Moore's really working out, that's really her. There are no camera cuts or anything. The 1-arm push-up, she is yoked.
She looked great.
Yeah,
amazing. So anyway, that's okay. Well, I've won already.
4-3.
It's 4. No, it's 5-3.
It's 5-3.
Is it 5?
It's
5-3.
No way you can win.
Well, we're gonna go with a bonus round already. So the final round
is worth 3 points.
Okay, are we doing double or nothing?
And I'll give. This is another female lead who has a storied career with such favorites as the TV series
Look at a dog, Asha.
The Beast. And now we have her in another series, Linda Hamilton, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, as Sarah Connor.
Oh, and you're going the whole... Well,
I'm going Terminator 2, obviously, where she got super buff and was doing the one-handed...
She was ready. She was ready.
One-handed pull-ups.
Bossing little John, Eddie Furlong.
Speaking Spanish.
Crazy. She was so good in that movie.
Man, Jason, what
she was totally
a
different person. Can you think of any other Linda Hamilton role where she was that iconic?
Where she went from Beauty and the Beast.
She went from Beauty and the Beast, the TV series with what's his name? Ron Perlman.
Definitely not Ron Howard.
to Sarah Connor.
Dude, she was doing
one-handed, pumping the shotgun with one hand.
Yeah.
Doing the pull-ups with one hand. She was crazy. She was
taking the T-1000's long
into
her shoulder.
Man,
call to John now.
She was awesome.
Have you seen John Connor?
Can you do the Edward Furlong impression when he's talking to Todd?
Oh, it's like this has nothing to do with Linda Hamilton either. It's like brrr, and he's running around. It's like, or what was his name?
Todd.
Oh no, but
John.
He goes, John, get in here, you little bastard. Now listen to your mom. She's not my mom, Todd. He loves that thing.
I know, it's so funny to me.
I said it once. You can never. Okay, that is very, very good. I am going to offer as competition, and this is a twist because
I'm going to offer.
This is okay. I'm going to throw Angelina Jolie at you.
Angelina Jolie.
I love Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, one of Asha's favorites. All right,
okay.
But this is an Angelina Jolie movie. Maybe a lot of you have not seen. I would hope that you would. But this is a HBO movie, so this went straight to TV. But it is a film. Gia. All right, and this is the true story. It's a biopic about the woman who would become the first supermodel, Gia Karangi, this tomboyish woman from what's the worst part of Philadelphia? Is it West Philly or South Philly?
I've never been to Philadelphia.
I think it's West Philly. But she was, very, very masculine, but incredibly beautiful. Was discovered, went on to be this incredibly naturally talented supermodel, and then got messed up with drugs. She developed, had all sorts of illicit promiscuous sex, wound up having a female as a partner who I believe was Anne Heche. I think that's who played her in the movie.
Anne Heche, she's pretty too.
Oh, yeah. And ultimately, I believe she died. Well, I think she died of AIDS, complications from AIDS. But Angelina's performance in that. And now I know a lot of people say when you think of Angelina, you're going to say Tomb Raider. You're going to say Girl Interrupted. You're going to say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whatever. She really embodied how incredible Gia Karangi was. And yeah, Gia Karangi had her demons, and they ultimately caught up to her. But she was a trailblazer. She was a trendsetter, and Angelina was so remarkable in that movie. Plus,
It's a good movie.
It also didn't hurt that, like, for a third of the movie, she was fully frontally nude.
I guess it's a plus.
Yeah,
Depending.
I guess. And I'm just throwing that in there to try and combat the fact that Linda Hamilton was shredded. Okay, who was more physically ripped?
Linda Hamilton was more shredded than Demi Moore, for sure.
Because
Linda Hamilton was ripped.
Linda got big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch both again.
Wait, big as in just like big for her frame, or big as in like Nicole Bass?
No, like big for her frame. But she was muscular and strong. You can tell she's physically strong. And that was the early '90s. That's 1992. Before
my senior year.
Before people were like into fitness or whatever. The science of fitness was like really,
people exercised before 1992.
No,
right?
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, when you look at the body, like, physical bodies of men and women nowadays compared to 2000, compared to 1990, and compared to before that, there's a distinct difference in like what we consider like really fit,
man.
right?
I don't feel good about this. Linda Hamilton was smart to take a syringe, plunge it into like, what was it?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Remember when she was escaping from the insane asylum? She took that syringe and she jammed it into the antifreeze or like coolant or something like that, and then she jammed it into the guy's leg, and she goes, "I'll push this if you don't let me out."
Yeah, that was dope.
She was a master of many weapons. She could work the hell out of a shotgun.
Guys, I want to see. There's no.
Asha, please put me out of my misery.
No contest here. Angelina Jolie in Gia,
because you were the judge.
Or
I didn't agree.
Linda Hamilton in Terminator. Pretty sure it's Linda Hamilton, but
does it really matter?
It doesn't matter at this point. I want already, but
you're making it so much worse.
On that note, guys.
Wait, what's the final score?
6-3. 5-4.
6-3. Well done.
It was good. It was relatively close. But guys, there's one more thing we want to do before we go. The Avengers Endgame premiere is a month away.
Yep.
About a month away. The
April 15th, right?
The enigmatic finale of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it, right? This is the end. Like, after this, they reboot the series completely, right? That's the plan, right? So with that, KOAM, we are going to be throwing something for the premiere. It's going to be fun. So leading up to that, we want to give away some tickets. So here's your chance to win
hell yeah.
2 free tickets to the movie. We are going to be playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Ooh.
So every episode of the podcast will end with 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. And in order to enter, all you have to do is find the answer, but you have to correctly label the actors and their movies. So if you don't know how 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon works, it's basically that there's a theory that any actor or actress is somehow has a role that is related to Kevin Bacon.
Anyone in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Anyone with a SAG card.
Correct. Has a role that's somewhat related to Kevin Bacon somewhere based on the films that they've been in. For instance, like who?
The one that we just had, the one with Kevin Bacon and.
For example, like so.
Flatliners, right? Was it
okay, yeah, Flatline. Let's say Young Guns. We said, okay, let's say Kiefer, or let's say Charlie Sheen, right? We say Charlie Sheen. Is he ever had a role with Kevin Bacon, or how close is he to Kevin Bacon? So you could say like, well, he's 2 degrees close. Shit, he was in Young Guns with Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland was in Flatliners with Kevin Bacon, right?
Yep.
So that's 2 degrees. So every week we'll give you an actor, actress, and you have to figure out how to get to Kevin Bacon based on their roles. Only actors and actresses, no directors, no producers, nothing like that, no special effects people, just actors and actresses. So this week, I have a guy in mind just because Captive State comes out and stars John Goodman, but that might be a little too complicated, so we can do something a little lighter, a little simpler. But what do you guys think is an easy one to do? Simple one, give a gimme for this week. And remember, it's only movies, not TV shows. So it has to be their movie roles.
I don't know. I have to look.
You know what? I'm going to do it. Since we're doing Terminator, we're going to go with Linda Hamilton. So you guys got to find how Linda Hamilton shares
So you're using what you used as a nail in my coffin.
Yes.
As this week's trivia.
So,
Is there like a max or no?
Yeah, 6 degrees.
Oh,
within
6,
6,
okay.
right? So that's...
You have to find it within
So
6.
make sure if it's going to be Linda Hamilton and Kevin Bacon, you got to say Linda Hamilton in this, so-and-so in this, so-and-so in this, so-and-so in this, Kevin Bacon and blah, 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 right? So send us your answers, DM us on Instagram, or you can put your answers in the Facebook chat. I know you don't want to do that because people are just going to copy it. But get us your answers, and we will let you know who the winner is on our next episode of the podcast. So once again, thank you to fine folks at Tango Theaters, where you can watch us as well as Captive State. Us coming out next week, Captive State coming out this Friday. And be sure to follow us closely to watch the Avengers Endgame premiere next month.
That's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you again. Happy movie.